So dear students, so today our topic is biosynthesis of fatty acids. Shall anyone can answer regarding the uses of fatty acids? So now we can go for regarding the introductions. The fatty acids are a class of compounds. So they having a long hydrophobic hydrocarbon chain, and at the terminal, so they will be having the carboxylic groups or carboxylate groups. So actually the fatty acids are the hydrophobic. So it means say they are not dissolved in the water or polar solvents. So they are dissolved in the lipid medium or lipid vehicle. So these are the lipid solvents. So that's why they are known as the hydrophobic hydrocarbon chains. So in the end of the each terminal, so they are consist of the carboxylate group. So fatty acids, some, so they are exist in our body as a free form, so do not conjugate with the any others. Okay, some, so they exist as a complex molecule. Example is a triglyceride. So triglyceride, it consists of glycerol plus three fatty acids. Okay, the triglyceride, it consists of the glycerol molecule attached with the three molecule of the glycerol. So that was known as the triglycerides, and as well as phospholipids. So they consist of the proteins along with the lipids. Okay, so they acts as a, or they exist as a fatty acyl esters. So example is a triglycerides and phospholipids. So like that, so what are fatty acids are there in our body? So there exist both conditions, free as well as the complex. So here one of the typical example for the complex. So here the fatty acids, so they are attached with the glycerol. So they also contain the phosphate groups and as well as the choline group. So this is the example, typical example or image or diagram for the complex fatty acids or complex molecules. So fatty acids can undergo the oxidation reactions in all type of tissues. Okay, in all type of tissue, the fatty acids are the oxidized. So due to oxidize, it can produces the ATP. So that energy or ATP is required for the various biochemical reactions, especially the skeletal muscles or muscles. Their source of energy is a oxidations of the fatty acids. So as well as, so liver, it is also depending upon the oxidations of the fatty acids. But rest organ, so they also depending upon the, so yeah, they are mainly depending upon the, that is the glycolysis or energy that was produced from the metabolism of the carbohydrates. But regarding the liver and regarding the skeletal muscles, so the prime source of energy is a beta oxidation or oxidations of the fatty acids. And as well as you know, so 85% or more than 80% of the source of energy, so that can came from the oxidations of the fatty acids. So here the fatty acids, so these are the structural components of the membrane. Okay, so membrane of each and every cell, so that is the lipid bilayer, including all type of cells, maybe hepatic cells, maybe liver cells, maybe normal organ cells or visceral cells. So whatever the cells, so they are required for formations of tissues. So those cells, so they will be having the plasma membrane. So that membrane, it is a lipid bilayer, and as well as, so organelles of the cells, so those are also having the membrane. So those are also made up of the phospholipids or lipids or fatty acids. So that's why the fatty acids and lipids, so they are the structural components of the membranes, so such as phospholipids and as well as the glycolipids. So already you know from the plasma membrane, so the plasma membrane consists of the phospholipids as well as the glycolipids, cholesterol. Okay, so as well as the, so many other lipid components are there. so the strength or integrity of that cell was depending upon the strength of the plasma membrane, and the strength of the plasma membrane, so that was depending upon the phospholipids and glycolipids. So integrity or strength of any molecules or any cells or any organism, so that was depending upon the integrity of the components of the plasma membranes. And plasma membrane integrity, so that was depending upon the glycolipids and phospholipids or simply fatty acid. So that's why nowadays, so the targeting for treatment of any infections regarding the microbial infections or fungal infection, so what are the antibiotic you are using, so they are targeting the these lipids, so they are inhibit the biosynthesis of lipids. So due to lack of biosynthesis of lipids in the membranes of the microorganism, the lysis of membranes of microorganism taken place. So due to that, so those microorganisms they do not survive. So this is the prime target for the antibiotics. Many antibiotics. So they lysis the plasma membrane. Lysis nothing but breakdown of the plasma membranes of the microorganism by inhibiting the sterols or by inhibiting the glycolipids, or especially antifungal drugs are there, so they are mainly targeting the only sterols, maybe lanosterol or many other sterols are there, so they are the components of the plasma membranes of the fungi. So those drugs they inhibit the that sterol, then they can destruct the or destroy the or lysis the plasma membranes of microorganisms. So due to that, so those antibiotics are helpful for the treatment of the various type of the infection. So like that, if any your component, if your therapy, if it is inhibit the phospholipids, glycolipids in the microorganisms means, then so that therapy or that drug or that food is acts as the antibiotics. Okay, so as well as so esterified form of the fatty acids, so that was stored in the form of glycerides in the adipose cells. So adipose cells, so these are also known as the adipocytes. So these are the special type of the muscles, so where the excess of fatty acid, so that was stored, so in the form of the triglycerides. So during the emergency, so when the body required the energy, so during the starvations, okay, calorie restrictions are due to abnormal glucose metabolisms. Okay, so in any conditions, if the glycolysis do not occurs, so due to abnormalities in the metabolism of the glucose or lack of insulin, so on that time also we can got the energy or ATP by from the depot. So that the depot is nothing but triglycerides. So they are stored in the adipose cells. So triglycerides are the excess of fatty acids in our body. They are stored in the adipose cells or adipocytes of the muscles. So even in the need of heat generation, so where also, so these stored fatty acids, so they are play important role in the generations of the heat to your body during the winter season. That is the one of the importance of the fatty acids. So they are helpful for regulations of the body temperature. So as well, so they are the structural components of the plasma membranes. So as well as, so they are so main source of the energy for various vital organs including the liver as well as the various muscles. And as well as certain fatty acids are responsible for the formations of the steroids or cholesterol. So they are required for the or lipids. So they are required for the biosynthesis of many lipid soluble vitamins or biosynthesis of the many steroidal hormones like glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids are there, or testosterone, estrogen, progesterone. So these all are the steroidal hormones. So they are the derivatives of the lipids or the derivatives of the cholesterol, and somewhere the fatty acids or lipids they are play important role in the synthesis of the steroidal hormones in our body or hormones. Okay, and fatty acids are also precursors for the eicosanoids. So eicosanoids, so these are the main one of the components biomolecules, so that was involved in the synthesis of the various local hormones. So they are involved in the locally regulate the organ functions. So among the important example is a prostaglandin, prostacyclin, bradykinin, kinin. So these all are the derivatives of the eicosanoids. So they are synthesized from the fatty acids. Regarding prostaglandin, it acts as the protective layer around the GIT. Prostaglandin, it can dilate the blood vessels and control the blood pressure. So that is also the derivatives of the eicosanoids, and eicosanoids, they are synthesized from the fatty acids. So that's why the fatty acids are also play an important role in the biosynthesis of the local hormones or local substances. So that was required for the locally our immune systems as well as to control the inflammations or repairing process or wound healing process or to show the protective actions. So this is regarding the introductions of the fatty acids. So now we can learn regarding the source of fatty acids. Already know the source of fatty acids are the diet. So from the diet we can got the, so various foods are there. So there is almonds, nuts, or many foods are there, or certain non-veg like a fish or many others are there. So they are the source of the fatty acids in the form of the triglycerides or in the form of the free fatty acids or in the form of the glycerol. So they are present in the our food. So they are the main source of the fatty acids. And as well as adipolysis, that is the breakdown of the triglycerides from the adipose tissues, that is also one of the source for the fatty acids for our body. Okay, during the emergency or starvation or abnormal glucose metabolism, so where the body was suffering from the deficiency of the ATP, so on that time the adipolysis was helpful for to regain the ATP for the various biochemical reactions. So as well as the source of fatty acids is also de novo source, that is the de novo synthesis, that is nothing but synthesis of the fatty acids from non fatty acid precursors. So that phenomena or pathway was known as the de novo synthesis of the fatty acids. So the fatty acids, so in your body, so they are synthesized, they do not utilize the fatty acid component like a glycerol. So they are use the non fatty acids component for synthesis of the fatty acids, and such phenomena was known as the de novo pathway or de novo synthesis of the fatty acids. So regarding the molecule or precursors for the de novo synthesis, they carbohydrate precursors. So that is the glucose and lactate. So these are the carbohydrate precursors, the glucose and lactate. So they are essential for the synthesis of the fatty acids, because the glucose lactate, so they are also converted into glycerol 3 phosphate, and glycerol 3 phosphate is essential for the synthesis of the various lipids and as well as phospholipids and fatty acids, as well as amino acid precursors are there. So they are also involved in the synthesis of fatty acids. Example is alanine and branched chain amino acids. So these are also the precursors from the amino acids or protein required are involved in the synthesis of the fatty acids in our body, as well as short chain organic acids like acetate, butyrate, and propionides. So already you know regarding the acetate and butyrate. So these are the ketone bodies. Okay, so the during the starvations, during the deficiency of carbohydrates, the ketone bodies are formed. Then these ketone bodies, so they can undergo the ketolysis. Then they are form the short chain fatty acids. Okay, they are form the fatty acid. Then the fatty acids can undergo the beta oxidation. Then it can produce the lot of energy. So like that, the short chain organic acids like a ketone bodies like that acetate, butyrate, and as well as propionate. So these are also the source of the fatty acids. So another source, that is the lipogenesis. That is the synthesis of fatty acids or triacyl glycerol synthesis from the many sources, or from the glycerol or from the fat components or many other components. So these are also the lipogenesis process is also the source for the synthesis of fatty acids. So among the diets, so they containing the lot of the fatty acids. So among these fatty acids, so omega 3 fatty acids, it is the beneficial. Okay, so if your food it will be having the omega 3 fatty acid, means you can prefer that food or that fatty acids or that lipid, because omega 3 fatty acids, it is a natural antioxidant. It can decrease the incidence of the heart failure or congestive heart failure. And omega 3 fatty acid, it is frequently present in the seafoods like a fish. So any food so that belongs to the sea or in the coastal area, and such food, so they are the rich of the omega 3 fatty acids. If you are non-vegetarian, so then my suggestions for you is you should be prefer the omega 3 fatty acids containing food, especially that is the fish food or seafoods. So they are futurely, so they are helpful for to prevent the incidence of the risk of the congestive heart failure or cardiac arrest. So due to that only, the those people, so they are living in the Konkan area, so their main food is a, that is the only fish. So that's why they are too slim. But we are also in Latur or around the other rest of the Maharashtra, so we are also taken the non-veg, but we are the fatty, we are the obese. But as compared to us, so they are prefer more non-veg, including, so every day they will be prefer the fish. Still they are slim, still so they are more clever, are more intelligent, are many IS officer, IPS officer, and administrative officers, so they are came from the Konkan area only. Okay, even the top, because so they prefer the omega 3 fatty acids. So it is one of the beneficial fatty acids. Okay, that was also improve the memory power, also remove the toxicants from our body. So that's why they are free from the many kind of the cardiovascular disorder. So the my suggestions for you is, if you are non-vegetarian, so then you can prefer the fish food or seafood. So next one, so regarding the site, so where the de novo fatty acid synthesis is taken place in the certain certain human beings, and as well as the other things, that is the liver. So it is in the birds, fish, humans, and rodents. The fatty acids are synthesized about 50% in the liver. Okay, so in the adipose tissues, so all type of the live animals. So that is the site for the de novo fatty acid synthesis, as well as other tissues like a brain, mammary gland, kidney, lungs. So these are also the site for stresses amount of synthesis of the fatty acids in the human beings, and as well as the other animals. Especially the fatty acid they are synthesized in the liver, adipose tissues, and as well as the many other tissues. So regarding the biosynthesis of fatty acids, so these are the two main enzymes, so they are play an important role in the biosynthesis of fatty acids. So one is the fatty acid synthase. It consists of group of 6 enzymes, and as well as one carrier protein that was known as the ACP, or acyl carrier protein or molecule. So that complete composition or complex was known as the fatty acid synthase. So the fatty acid synthase is the complex of enzymes, and as well as it consists of the one acyl carrier protein. It is the main enzyme. It was involved in the biosynthesis of the fatty acids, and as well as acetyl CoA decarboxylase. It is also one of the prime enzyme. It is also limit the, or it is a rate limiting enzyme. It can limit the excess synthesis of the fatty acid. So that's why it is also play an important role in the biosynthesis of the fatty acids. So regarding the starting material for the biosynthesis of fatty acids, so that is the palmitate synthesis. It is one type of the fatty acids. So that was precursor utilized is a acetyl CoA. For odd number carbon or long chain fatty acid synthesis, the propenyl CoA is the starting material or precursor for synthesis of the fatty acids. Okay, so fatty acid synthesis, so they can going on by build up of the additions of the carbon atom. Okay, so additions of carbon atom, the chain can be elongated, because you already know the fatty acids molecule, it consists of the more than 14 molecule of carbon atoms. So already you learn from the introductions. Okay, then only it is known as the fatty acids. Okay, so here, so there are the during the biosynthesis of fatty acids that was going on by additions of the carbon atoms. Due to that, the chain can be elongated. So here, for biosynthesis of fatty acids, the carbon donor is a malonyl CoA. Okay, so malonyl CoA, it can donate the carbon atoms. It mainly donates the two carbon atom in each cycles. Okay, Molyneux CoA, it is the source for carbon atom for biosynthesis of the fatty acids. It donates the two carbon atoms, one carbon atom for synthesis of fatty acid, that is the second carbon atom, and first carbon atom it can throw out as a carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide that can loses during the biosynthesis of fatty acid, that was loose from the, that was the source from the Molyneux CoA. And site for the biosynthesis of fatty acid is a cytosol. So cytosol of the cell, it is the main site for synthesis of the fatty acids. But the fatty acid that was synthesis is mainly depending upon the acetyl CoA. But acetyl CoA, it was synthesized in the mitochondrial matrix. But it can enter to the our cystosol of the cell, so with the help of the citrate. So that's why the site for biosynthesis of fatty acid is a cytosol, but it begins from the mitochondrial matrix. But maximum reactions or maximum fatty acid biosynthesis, so that was taken place in the cytosols. So regarding the steps, so they're involved in the fatty acid synthesis, so they are mainly categorized into three steps. So first step, that was known as the productions of acetyl CoA and NADPH. So biosynthesis of fatty acid, so they mainly require two molecules. One is the acetyl CoA and another is the NADPH. In the first stage, the acetyl CoA and NADPH will be the forms. Then second one is the conversions of acetyl CoA into a molecule. So already you know the molecule CoA is the source of the carbon atom for elongations of the chain. So that monoline CoA was formed from the acetyl CoA. So that is the second stage of the biosynthesis of the fatty acid, and the third stage is reactions of fatty acid synthase complex. So this enzyme, it consists of, this complex consists of 6 enzyme complex. So during that the cycle will be repeated. So then the desired fatty acids or long chain, so that was the form. So like that, the biosynthesis of fatty acids, it was mainly categorized into three stages. Stage 1, productions of acetyl CoA and NADPH, and stage 2, conversions of fatty acyl CoA to monolyl CoA, and stage 3, reactions of the fatty acid synthase. So now we learn one by one. So first stage, that was our step, that was known as the productions of acetyl CoA and NADPH. So dear students, so acetyl CoA, so that was produced in the mitochondrial matrix, but the synthesis of fatty acid, that was occurs in the cytosol. So in the mitochondrial matrix, the acetyl CoA, so that was synthesized from the pyruvate, and pyruvate is the end products of the glycolysis. Glycolysis occurs in the cytosol. Then finally it can produce the pyruvate in the presence of the oxygen. In the absence of oxygen, it can produce the lactate. So pyruvate, it can enter into a mitochondrial matrix, so with the help of the pyruvate complex enzymes. So then that pyruvate, in the presence of pyruvate dehydrogenase enzyme, it was converted into a acetyl CoA. So as well as, so in the mitochondrial matrix, certain amino acids, that is the glyceroneogenesis, that was known as the glyceroneogenesis. From the certain amino acids, then also the acetyl CoA is processed, or from the beta oxidation, then also the acetyl CoA is processed. So that was occurs in the mitochondrial matrix. And as well as pyruvate can responsible for the formations of the oxaloacetate. Okay, but this acetyl CoA, it do not cross the membranes of the mitochondria. Okay, do not cross the membranes of the mitochondria. Certain reaction is needed, so that was taken place. So with the help of the citrate, so then the citrate, it can react with the acetyl CoA. In the presence of the citrate synthesis, it can form the citrate molecule complex. Then this citrate, then it can exist from the mitochondrial matrix. So with the help of the citrate ATP lyase enzyme. So this is the one main enzyme that was required for penetrations of the citrate from mitochondrial matrix into the cytosol. So like that, the acetyl CoA can convert into citrate in the mitochondrial matrix, then leak out or liberated from the mitochondrial matrix into the cytosol because it cannot be permitted into the cytosol. So in the cytosol, the citrate in the presence of the citrate lyase enzyme then utilize the ATP, okay, as well as the coenzyme A, it can form the acetyl CoA. So like that, the acetyl CoA is available for fatty acid biosynthesis. That was the role of the citrate lyase. It can convert citrate into, and as well as the presence of the coenzyme. So ATP converted into ADP, then it can forms the acetyl CoA. So that this acetyl CoA is available for the biosynthesis of fatty acids. And further other side, citrate converted to oxaloacetate, then oxaloacetate is converted into maltate. So during the maltate, it can produces the NADPH. So this NADPH is also required for the synthesis of fatty acids. So the fatty acid synthesis is mainly depending upon the acetyl CoA and NADPH. So that was produced in the step 1. So with the help of the various enzyme, that is the citrate lyase or malic enzyme, then as well as citrate synthase and citrate ATP lyase. Okay, so like that. So these enzymes, so they are involved in the to supply the precursors for synthesis of the fatty acids regarding the acyl CoA as well as the that is the NADPH. So next, that is the step 2, that is the formations of Moline CoA. That is the first rate limiting step, or it is also known as the carboxylations of the acetyl CoA. So Moline CoA is needed because it is the source of carbon atom for elongations of the fatty acid chain. It is required for the formations of fatty acids. So that Moline CoA, it was formed from the acetyl CoA. Okay, Moline CoA, it was the formed from the acetyl CoA along with the carboxybiotin in the presence of the acetyl CoA carboxylase enzyme. It is also known as the ACC. Okay, so this enzyme, it can convert acetyl CoA in the presence of the vitamin B7, that is the carboxybiotin, into a Moline CoA. So then this Moline CoA, it is the source for acetyl CoA because in the Moline CoA is also in the presence of Moline CoA decarboxylate, it produces the acetyl CoA, as well as the Moline CoA is also the source for the carbon atoms, and as well as it can respond for the losses of the carbon dioxide. So like that, so the Moline CoA was formed from the acetyl CoA. So in the presence of the vitamin B7, that is known as the carboxybiotin, by the enzyme acetyl CoA carboxylase enzyme. So here certain factors are there. So they can enhance the activity of this enzyme. That is the insulin, as well as high carbohydrate calorie intake and citrate. So they are enhance this enzyme activity. But fasting condition inhibit the activity of this enzyme. So as well as glucagon, epinephrine, palmityl CoA, AMPK. So they are inhibit the this enzyme. Then the Moline CoA is not available. Then they can stop the biosynthesis of the fatty acids. So like that, these are the various regulators. So they are accelerate the source of the carbatum by accelerating the formations of Moline CoA, and some are inhibitors are there. So they can inhibit the formations of Moline CoA, then they inhibit the biosynthesis of the fatty acids. So now we can go for the step 3, that was known as the reactions of fatty acid synthase complex. So this is nothing but it is the fatty acid synthase the complex. It consists of 6 enzyme, okay, as well as the one carrier protein that was known as ACP or acyl carrier protein. So this protein, it was play an important role in the biosynthesis of fatty acids. Okay, so this is the provide the, it is helpful for the elongations of the, that is the chain or additions of the new carbon atoms. And this fatty synthase is running in the 6 reactions. In the first reaction, it was known as the molanyl acetyl CoA ACP transkylase reaction, or this reaction has taken place in the presence of enzyme molanyl acetyl, that is a molanyl or acetyl CoA ACP translase enzyme. So here, so this enzyme, it mainly having the two site. One site is known as the cysteine and another site is known as the ACP, that is the acyl carrier proteins. So in the presence of this enzyme acetyl CoA ACP translase, the acetyl CoA, okay, it can react with or bind with the fatty acid synthase molecules. So mainly, so acetate from the acetyl CoA, so here the CoA enzyme is releases, then only the acetyl molecule will remains due to presence of the or in the presence of the acetyl CoA ACP translase, and this acetyl molecule is bound on the ACP site of the folic acid synthase. This is the first one reaction. So this enzyme acetyl CoA ACP synthase, so it can transfer the two carbon fragment, okay, two carbon fragment from the acyl CoA to a fatty acid synthase at ACP site. That is the role of the this enzyme. Okay, then molecule form that was known as the acetyl SACP. Then later on, so this acetyl molecule was transferred from ACP to cysteine. Okay, in the next step, so in the presence of same enzyme, so this acetyl molecule from the ACP site then transferred to the cysteine site. So like that, the ACP site is vacant fully, then it can helpful for to allow the binding of the molanyl CoA in the next step. So like that, the acetyl CoA in the presence of transkylase enzyme, it can bind on the this enzyme on ACP site in first time only two carbon atoms, then later on it can shift from ACP site to the cysteine site, then ACP site is vacant for attachment of the another molecule carbon atoms that can came from the molanyl CoA. Okay, so in the second step, that was known as the reaction 2, that is also taken place. So in the presence of same enzyme, there is a molanyl acetyl CoA ACP transkylase enzyme. So this enzyme, so here the source of carbon atom is came from the molanyl CoA in the form of the malate, or the sorry, the malonate. Okay, so this malonate in the presence of the transkylase enzyme, it can bind on the ACP. So ACP site is vacant in the here. So then, so malonate from the molanyl CoA that was bind on the, so this ACP site in the reaction 2 in the presence of the acetyl CoA ACP transkylase enzyme. So then, so that molecule or that enzyme is known as the acyl malonyl enzyme. So in the next step, in the reaction 3, that was known as the condensing reaction, or that was occurs in the presence of the condensing enzyme like a beta keto acyl synthase. So here in the presence of beta acyl ACP synthase, the malonate loses the carbon atom and acetyl from cysteine can transfer to the malonate molecules. Okay, so in the presence of ketoacyl synthase enzyme, okay, so this molecule, that is the carboxylase end of the malonate from the ACP, it can loses the carbon atom. That is the vacant. Then later on in the, then the carbon dioxide releases. Then later on, so this molecule, acetyl molecule from the cysteine transferred to the ACP site or towards the malonate side in the presence of the beta ketoacyl ACP. So in the next, that is the reaction for beta ketoacyl ACP reductase. So this enzyme, it can cause the reactions. Okay, so this ketoacyl, that is the beta ketoacyl ACP reductase, reduces the ketoacyl group, okay, into a carboxyl group with the help of the NADPH. So this NADPH is required here in the here reduction reactions. So the keto group can be reduced and it can process into a carboxyl group, that is the OH group or hydroxyl group. Okay, sorry, not carboxyl. The hydroxyl group is added. Our keto group converted into a hydroxyl group. So in the presence of the enzyme beta ketoacyl ACP reductase, and that is the presence of the NADP. So like that, beta hydroxyl ACP will be formed in the reaction 4. So next one, the reaction 5, that is the regulated in the presence of the, so the reaction 5, it can taken plus, so in the presence of the enzyme beta hydroxyl ACP dehydratase. So this enzyme, it can cause the dehydration, that is the release of the water molecule. Then a one bond is formed between the alpha and beta carbon atoms. Okay, so this enzyme in the reaction 5, the beta hydroxyl acyl ACP dehydratase, it can cause the dehydration. So due to dehydration, one molecule of water is loses. Then it can allow the formations of the new bond or double bond between the alpha and beta carbon atoms. So later on, the reaction C, that is 6, will be the begins. So in the presence of the enol ACP reductase, so this enzyme is also depend upon the NADPH and involved in the reductions. Okay, it was involved in the reductions. Then it can cause the reaction. Okay, reduction. Then it can produces the acyl ACP. Okay, it can remove the double bond. It can form the simple, that is the butyl ACP or acyl ACP by involving the reduction reaction. And here the hydrogen atom for this chain is supplied by the NADPH. Then the enol ACP was converted into acyl ACP or butyl ACP. Okay, so then further, so this ACP, that is acyl ACP, can transport to the, that is the cysteine site from ACP to cysteine. So then the ACP site is vacant. So this vacance is allowed for the, that is attachment of the malonate from the malonyl CoA. So like that, the enol ACP reductase, it can remove the double bond involving in the reduction reaction and produce the acyl ACP or butyl ACP, and also helpful for to transport the, so this ACP, acyl ACP, from ACP to the cysteine. Then the ACP site is vacant fully. So that vacant is helpful for the attachment to another molecule of the malonate from the malonyl CoA. Okay, so this is known as the acyl S enzyme. So next, the reaction 2 to 6 is repeated for 6 times. Then total the 7 cycle will be running. So and at the end of the, after completions of 6 round of the 2 to 6 reaction, so one long chain that is containing the 16 carbon atom fatty acid will be the form. So that was known as the palmitate. Okay, so later on, the 2 to 6 reaction, that is the additions of the malonate from the molecule CoA to the ACP site. Then after that, that is the release of the carbon dioxide. Then acyl, that is acetyl group, transported from cysteine to ACP. Then after that, double bond is formed. Then after that, the double bond is removed. Then later on, it can repeat to the ACP to the cysteine. Like that, ACP is vacant for binding of the another molecule. So like that, so the reaction 2 to 6 was repeated for 6 more times to produce the desired fatty acids. So after completions of 6 times, it consists of the 7, that is the 18, sorry, the 18 carbon atoms. So that was known as the palmitate. So palmitate is the one type of the fatty acid. So like that, so in the seventh reaction, that was occurs the condensation. So that was occurs in the presence of the palmitoyl thioesterase enzyme. So this enzyme, it can condenses the folic acid synthase molecule and separate the palmitate molecule from the, so this enzyme, that is folic acid synthase. Then the enzyme is free for required for the synthesis of the or biosynthesis of another molecule of the fatty acid. So like that, the palmitate was condensed or separate from the fatty acid synthase in the presence of the palmitoyl thioesterase enzyme. So like that, the fatty acids like a palmitate, it will be the formed. Okay, so in the